afternoon or morning, actually.
Yeah, this is early for both.
This is early for both of us, especially for me. I'm Dom.
I am Jamie.
And welcome back to the cutting room floor. So, Jamie, you wanted to do this film. Why don't you tell the people what you got going on in your life, why we did this film? It's related to some education, right?
Yes, I started grad school at my old age to get a master's. So I'm taking a short story class, and we started reading Raymond Carver. And so to do a project, which I presented last night. So
nice.
I'm free. So I might have some quotes actually from, I'll have to get into my PowerPoint, but there's some good quotes about this movie.
Okay.
That I incorporated in because the guy who reviewed the film also reviewed like Raymond Carver's writing. So the comparisons are really incredible.
Okay.
So I started reading more of his stuff, and I'm like, God, this guy is an amazing writer. And I just love his style. It's like a minimalist style. So you don't really get much detail as far as like where they are or what they're doing. It might be like a hospital room or whatever, but you can picture everything in your head. It's really bizarre. At least I can. So I was just fascinated by it. And then I remembered Birdman adapts what we talk about when we talk about love, his most famous short story. So I was like, why don't we just do Birdman? Because one, Michael Keaton is back with a vengeance.
He's the man.
Even though he was back obviously 10 years ago.
Yeah, I'm like,
with a vengeance. But he seems back even more so now.
Back, bro.
Beetlejuice.
And he kills it in that.
Did you?
I saw it. Yeah,
it's really good.
It's good, man. It's good. It's like, it's very like a sequel feeling.
Yeah, but
Michael Keaton is great. Winona is great, and Jenna Ortega is great.
I know you love Ortega.
Oh, she's incredible.
Yeah.
And Catherine O'Hara, man, she's great too.
Well, it seems like all of them have just become more popular over the past like 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Like Catherine O'Hara with Schitt's Creek, even though she's been around since the 70s. With SCTV in Canada. And obviously Michael Keaton's been around since the 70s because he started out helping on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood because he's from Pittsburgh.
Crazy.
And that's where they would film it. And obviously Jenna Ortega, we know the past couple of years she's blown up. Well, and with Winona Ryder, Stranger Things.
Yeah, she's been going hard for decades. You know
she has been, but it's like weird.
Stranger Things really like put her back on the map.
Yeah. People were like, "Oh yeah, she's still around.
She's still great."
yeah. So I wanted to do it because I wanted to. I was prepping for that presentation, and so I was kind of like, if I cheat a little bit, I can do both at once.
Yeah,
and it kind of worked actually because this film is just amazing.
It is, and I saw it when it came out because it was super buzzy, with the Oscars and shit.
Yeah.
And I saw it when it came out, and I was like, this film's pretty good. And then I watched it again maybe 2 years ago. I bought it on Blu-ray. I was like, okay, this film's good. Now after watching it this time, I'm like, okay, each watch it gets better and better, and the themes really sink in each watch. And I'm like, this film has a brilliance to it that I didn't realize 10 years ago.
And the crazy thing is, like, when I watched it, like, the second time, I mean, I watched it, like, 10 years ago, maybe halfway through. Mm-hmm. So I only watched it the whole way through, like, 2 weeks ago and this morning. But Michael Keaton's performance seems to get better each time.
Yeah. It's so good.
Yeah. Like, if the first time you watch it, you're like, what is wrong with him?
Uh-huh.
But then the more you watch it, when you're like, oh, I know what's wrong with him. It's kind of like a Fight Club situation.
Yeah. And like, once you know.
Yeah.
It actually enhances the experience.
But you don't really know until, like, almost the end, like, when he goes into the theater.
Yeah.
And then the dude's like, hey, wait a second.
Yeah. He's like, you got to pay me.
Yeah. And he tells the usher dude at the door to stop the music. He's like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Yeah, stop the music. That is so funny.
Yes. It's like, oh my God.
This is way too many quotes in this movie.
It's like, this is brilliant. Yeah, too many.
Too many.
You're an actor, darling.
Yeah.
Or you're an actress, darling, or whatever. Yeah, why am I such a... Yeah, there's a lot of great quotes.
There's a lot.
And, like, everything about this... I might have to say just off the bat, I think the MVP would be the editor.
The editing is
oh my God.
A1.
Yes. Because I want to watch 1917 again.
1917, yep. I was thinking about 1917 the whole time I was watching
but this is obviously pre-1917.
This is, I was like, this is before that. So Sam Mendes was definitely watching Birdman.
Oh, he had to.
Made that.
And and I love the commentary on the way films were going at the time, because it almost because they weren't as big then as they actually ended up becoming after that.
Yeah.
So it was sort of like you're almost like selling your soul for this artless thing. It's almost like what Scorsese. Martin Scorsese is going to be in the audience.
Scorsese, right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, I hate Marvel. I hate hero shit.
Yeah, but like, you know, in a way, it kind of shows what the industry was thinking at the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And obviously, actors are like, hey, look, I have work and I could probably retire.
I'm like getting rich.
Yeah, I can invest.
And it's crazy because Iñárritu is like, he was in tune in the moment, because like, this is 2014. That was like right when this shit really started happening. Yeah. This isn't a reflection of the past or a reflection of a few years ago.
No. It was in the moment.
Everything was in the moment. Yeah. I was like, so.
Because look, that's Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier was out.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Amazing Spider-Man. Iron Man 2 was out then. Was 3 out? No,
3 was out. 3 was out. It came out in 13.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah,
so,
because they mentioned Robert Downey Jr.
Yes. The whole thing. He said that bastard in the tin suit, or whatever the fuck. I actually have it in quotes. So we'll get to that. What he says about Robert Downey. Yeah, it's like he made a fortune being in that tin suit, or whatever the fuck he says. But yeah, it is crazy how he was like kind of living in that moment. So it was something that was constantly on his mind, or he was thinking about like, what shift is the industry really going to take here? Because all the money is going to this guys in tights.
It did really start with like Tim Burton's Batman. As much as influential as like Donner's Superman was, Tim Burton's Batman started the 90s on revolution of it, because it hasn't really stopped.
It really hasn't, because I think Batman's just more popular as I would say Batman is probably the most popular comic book hero.
Yeah.
Like, even more than any Marvel hero.
Yeah, believe it or not, I agree.
Batman is like the most recognizable symbol, most recognizable name. Everyone knows who Bruce Wayne is. Everyone knows who Batman is. Everyone's seen at least 3 Batman movies.
Yes.
At least.
At least,
I'm like, if not, Batman is one of the movies, even if you don't like superhero movies, you're like, oh, I'm going to go see the new Batman.
You know what I'm saying? Because he's not technically a superhero.
Yeah, and that's why I've always liked Batman, because Batman's this... It's a noir film at the end of the day. It reminds me of movies from the 50s and 40s.
Have you seen on Amazon the new Batman Cape Crusader cartoon?
I didn't see it, but I saw it's on there.
Yeah, you should check it out. Did you like the animated series?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, Bruce Timm, the main like designer of the animated series, it's his like style, and I think Matt Reeves and J.J. Abrams might be producers on it.
That's dope.
And it takes place in the 40s.
Oh, man. I might have to watch that. That's
it's really cool. It's only like 10 episodes, but it's incredible.
That's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's great.
It's really good.
That's so sick.
It's one of the best Batman things I've seen in a long time. As far outside of like film,
yeah.
Because, they do a lot of the cartoons.
A lot of cartoons, a lot of good ones, yeah. Like Batman Beyond.
Oh, Batman Beyond is probably the best.
That's the sauce.
Because it was the perfect marriage of like a Spider-Man story with Batman.
Yep.
Because Terry McGinnis is essentially if Peter Parker needed a suit for his powers.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
That's what it is, yeah.
And it was incredible.
So good.
And still is. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No,
Birdman.
It's good, but Birdman. So this film, I think its relevancy... It's still relevant to today's movies and cultures, but I think at the time, its relevancy raised a lot of eyebrows in the industry in a good way. And I think it did make people take notice, like, hold on, let's slow down, guys, and let's appreciate everything about our industry. But I also think, like, a lot of people might think Birdman and the writers maybe throwing shade at the hero industry, but I don't think they were, actually. I think it was appreciation.
Yeah.
In my opinion, at least. Not fully, but I do think if you think Iritu doesn't like a good hero movie, I think you would be wrong. If you don't think he was watching Burton's Batman growing up,
well, that was more artsy though too.
It was definitely more art house,
and it was before like they became formulaic.
Yes, and this was pre CGI and all that, so everything was fun and practical and stuff.
Yeah,
but I'm sure Iritu watched fucking Infinity War and was like, he might have let one tear or two roll.
Oh yeah, because you get invested.
You do,
especially Spider-Man.
Infinity War wrapped me up. I was like, dude, I was watching that show. I was like, bro, what am I seeing?
But also like from the early '90s, you had like Batman, Dick Tracy with Warren Beatty, The Rocketeer, and Batman Returns. And whatever came out in '93, probably like RoboCop 3.
Batman Forever.
Well, Batman Forever was '95.
Okay.
Yeah. Because in like '94, you had The Shadow. There was obviously stuff in '93 that I'm not remembering, which is terrible. But then you had like The Shadow, and then you had Batman Forever. And '96, you had The Phantom. I'm thinking of like the big ones. Then '97 was Batman and Robin. Then you had Blade in '98, which actually was a turning point because it got away from either Batman or like the retro. Yeah, because if you think about like The Rocketeer, Dick Tracy, The Shadow, and The Phantom, they all took place in the 30s.
Yeah, I was like way back.
They're period pieces.
Period pieces, yeah.
No
blood. But
noir period pieces.
They were. And
except for
Blade.
Dick Tracy had too many bright colors to be noir, but it was supposed to be.
It was, but it's fun.
So Blade is the turning point.
And Blade was nice because it is a darker film.
Yeah.
With the hero he's partly the villain too.
Yeah, he's so with the anti-hero.
That is kind of the start of the anti-hero.
Yeah, because even though I think it's a redundant term because it would just be a villain. But yeah, I think that's what totally rebooted what was getting stale before '98. So we do have Blade, but saying Blade started something isn't necessarily true unless you say Batman and Robin ended it.
Yeah, yes,
because it kind of did, right?
You could say that. Yeah.
But I think Blade just
Blade was just a step in the evolution.
Yeah, it was like we can do this better and get a wider audience. And they had to try it, I think, with Blade because no one knew who the fuck Blade was.
Yeah, Blade was kind of.
If you're not a hardcore,
you're a comic dude. You do not know Blade.
Yeah,
like, I knew Blade from Blade movies.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, what's this? Wesley Snipes playing a vampire killer hero, dude? Sign me the fuck up.
Well, see, also in the '90s, he wanted to be Black Panther, but he had so much trouble trying to get Black Panther made. But Wesley Snipes in the '90s as Black Panther
would have been a great Black Panther.
Incredible.
Dude. That would have been sick.
He would not have been able to touch Chadwick Boseman.
No,
but because I don't know if he would have had the accent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But Wesley's a good actor, dude. I think he would have really
he would have been a great '90s Blade
coach.
Black Panther.
Yeah, he would have hired a dialect coach. He would have did everything to make sure that fucking role pops. I think he's committed to his craft.
Well, I don't know because Boseman, the guy who played his dad, he incorporated his native language.
Yeah, he was good,
and he learned it for his role. So it's kind of like, and no slight to Wesley Snipes, but Wesley Snipes is Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes.
After like Passenger 57, he could probably do whatever the hell he wanted. That was a great movie.
It was.
He
was on top for a minute, man.
Yeah,
he was holding it down.
And Woody Harrelson would have had to have been the villain.
Yeah,
it was the '90s,
yeah, right?
Because they made how many movies against
a lot.
At least, Wildcats in the '80s.
Wildcats is so good.
Yeah, because they were on the football team.
I'm so glad you've seen that.
Yeah.
That scene where she's making them. Yeah. See, I don't love Goldie Hawn, but I do love that movie. And I do love Death Becomes Her.
And look, Overboard, Private Benjamin.
Yeah, she's in some good shit.
Yeah.
She's got her eyes scare me, bro. She's got those piercing, scary blue eyes, and I don't know why. She just always looks scary to me.
So, how do you feel about Kate Hudson then?
Kate Hudson's hot though.
Okay,
it's a totally different game.
Okay,
yeah, I'm like her daughter's right. Okay. Yeah, Death Becomes Her, dude. Bruce and Meryl. Great.
Yeah.
But like Wildcats was great because they were young and all in shape and just hungry for the biz, and you could just tell they wanted it. And then by like White Men Can't Jump, they were both fucking superstars.
Oh yeah, they were so
They were bankable as shit.
And they gelled so well in
they
that
did.
film.
They were so good.
Even Money Train.
Yeah, I forgot about
Money Train. Yeah.
they must have been friends, man. They had to. Like, you don't work with the same dude over and over if you don't like them.
They should have had like a Lethal Weapon type franchise.
They should.
With just them as the same guys.
Great. That would have been great. Actually, that's a great idea.
Yeah. Anyway,
Birdman.
Birdman.
So let's get into some stats. All this is related, though.
Yeah, it is.
This is what this film's about. So don't think we're just sitting here rambling. Some stats. This movie blew up. Rotten Tomatoes, 91%.
Wow.
IMDb, 7.7.
Wow.
Yeah. Letterbox, solid 4. So wow. Great scores.
Yeah, from what we discussed, I now know that's a good score.
Letterbox 4 is good.
Yeah.
So we got great scores top to bottom. Birdman, so you go ahead and tell them. We can both jump in because this movie. This movie's one long fucking scene.
Yeah, it takes place over a few days, but the transitions happen like almost seamlessly,
so quick because of the editing.
And it's like a short story. It's like a Raymond Carver short story in the fact that like his stories can be like 3 days later this happened or whatever. I mean, a lot of writers do that, like Chekhov, the Russian writer. But it's I think it's intentionally designed that way. So it's about, I don't want to say a has-been actor because he's still an actor.
And he still is clearly popular. Yeah, when he goes out in the street,
they're like
fan out.
Regan Thompson.
They fan out.
Paula Pell, who was one of the best SNL writers, is the woman in that scene who's like, Regan Thompson, can I get you a picture? Yes. Yeah, she's an amazingly funny human being.
Wow, I never knew she was a writer.
Yeah. She's probably, anyone who worked with her on SNL is like, she is the funniest writer that we've ever worked with.
Wow.
So it's about this actor, Regan Thompson. It's like 30 years after he played a superhero, Birdman, on the big screen. And in this film, he quit after the third one in 92.
Should have did Birdman 4. Would have made $1 billion worldwide.
Yeah, like what? So he's trying to make a comeback by staging a play that he's writing and directing and starring in that adapts Raymond Carver's classic short story, What We Talk About When We Talk About Love. And he's trying to be legitimate. And nobody really believes in him.
Nobody. And it's like
because he's a superhero guy.
And it's like you can't really blame the people for feeling the way they do as far as the prestige of it all.
Yeah.
But the way they treat him for trying, I just don't fuck with.
Yeah, especially the
critic.
Yeah, the critic. She's terrible.
We'll get to her when we get to that scene. But yeah, he's staging this play, and you can tell he is putting his all into it. He's putting all his money into it.
Yeah, he's putting everything
he has. Wigs on.
Yeah, he's playing more than one character.
He is. I'm like, he's playing all these different characters, and this dude's he's on the stage every day, all day.
Yeah,
because the theater all day.
Yeah, it's all practice and rehearsal.
It feels like he lives there.
Yeah,
like his dress.
Yeah, that room.
It feels like he lives in that room.
Yes.
Like, do you ever even see him at home in this movie?
No, because when it starts off, he's like meditating in his underwear in his dressing room.
You see it in his whitey tighties.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't think. His home was that theater. So for these people to be treating him the way they do, I'm like, all right, you can say what you're saying, but don't knock a man for he's putting it all up. Dude's ready to refinance his house for this shit.
Yeah, the Malibu house, which is going to his daughter.
To go to Sam, the drug addict.
Yeah.
But it's wild. But he has no credibility in the world of theater. But he has all the love from the people out in the streets who watch Birdman, and he made a bunch of money from this. And
the people who have no taste in theater,
apparently.
Yeah, which is sort of what's insinuated.
Yeah, and it's like, you got a guy like me who I fall right in that gray area. I will go and watch your summer blockbuster and have a blast. And I will also go and watch a stage play about some shit that will bore most people to tears and also have a blast.
Yeah.
So for me, I looked at it like you guys are just being ignorant because your taste, and I just don't think your taste should be exclusive to one type of thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Just me.
Yeah.
I'm a variety guy. Like, I used to hate buying one bag of chips as a kid. I used to want the variety box because I don't want to just taste the same flavor over and over.
Do you think that this film even though he had done theater previously and since, do you think this film helped legitimize like Hugh Jackman's theater career?
I feel like he was already pretty.
He was, but like if people only knew him from like X-Men as Wolverine, do you think that they were like, oh, we got to check out the Music Man now because Hugh Jackman's in it?
Not a Wolverine fan.
Yeah. Okay, I see what
a Wolverine
yeah.
fan. Like, I'm not watching that shit.
Yeah, why
X-Men 8, yo?
Yeah, is he gonna start slicing and dicing soon?
He's like, I'm not watching Les Mis, but I will watch Deadpool Wolverine. You know
Les Mis is about the first time I ever had sex. That's really from the point of view of the female. Les Mis, the miserable Les.
But I mean, so I do think that I can't. You know what? Maybe it has, but there's been a lot of great screen actors who started on Broadway or went to Broadway after.
Like Matthew Broderick started out on Broadway.
Yeah, and he's back there.
Yeah,
and he loves it. You know who's got a good career on Broadway? Al Pacino.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know he's got a Tony.
Wow.
You know, so there's a lot of guys who kill it on the stage too that have killed it on the screen, but those guys are more considered prestigious screen actors, more so than like if Chris Evans was like, I'm about to go do a fucking stage play. Like,
wait,
like,
what?
Really?
Yeah.
Chris Hemsworth, like, guys, I'm going to be in the theater and be like, really?
What?
You're going to take your shirt off? You know?
Yeah. If you're not, then just stay home.
Yeah. You
just post workout videos.
Be a prop man.
Yeah.
But I don't know. After watching him in Furiosa, I think he's a much better actor than people might give him credit for.
And also, you got to think the director is going to bring something out of you based on what their vision is.
But
so if you have a bad director, that sounds terrible, but you know.
I mean, of course, there's a reason bad directors don't get jobs.
Like Thor the Dark World. Sorry, Thor the Dark World, but
you know,
Kenneth Branagh did the first one. I forget who did the second one, but then Taika Waititi did the other two.
Yeah, because after Ragnarok came out, Dark World pretty much just got erased from history.
Yeah, that's why they had to redeem it with Endgame.
They did. But you know, everyone hated Dark World. It's not that bad though.
No, but if you look at the other ones,
compared to shit that's come out since,
oh no,
Dark World is like it's decent.
It might as well be Shakespeare.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So I think the risks where Michael Keaton was taking, or Riggins was taking, is the direction. To direct a stage play and you have like no experience.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you don't know if he's ever done that before.
Probably not.
And probably not on a play, but I mean directed anything.
Anything.
Yeah, we don't know.
And direction a movie and direction a player, those are two entirely. You get to edit movies.
Yeah.
You don't edit plays.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Well, that's what Mike is telling him he's like, we're going to, pretty much the editing is the rehearsal and it's the previews. Like that's when you do your editing, you see what works and what doesn't. Like he's trying to help him, even though he's like the world's biggest asshole.
But he didn't help the play. He didn't help it.
He's trying to be like, okay, this is how we do it because this is my town.
This is his sound.
Yeah,
right.
This is my forte.
This is what I do. This is how I make my money.
Yeah.
And there's a reason that. Look, if I was gonna be in Birdman 4, it'd make no money. You in Birdman 4 will.
Yes.
But I come to this stage, tickets sell out. When you come, they don't. So it's a whole different thing. We're opposites in that. So I do think Mike was, as much of a dickhead as he was helping Riggins. And I think he was trying to help Riggins later on with the negative comments he made about him. I think he was trying to motivate him.
Yeah, and also like because if you think about it with that article that he said in there, since he said his motivation for doing it was what Riggin told him, he stole that from him because if Riggin said it and they knew that, they would think he was trying to pander.
Yep, they'd be like it's fake.
But since Mike has a name, you're right.
Yep,
if he says it, it means something more. Yeah.
Yep.
Even though it's not, and Riggin knows it because God, I love that scene when he's Oh Jesus! When he's
When
confronting
he
him about
confronts him,
oh my god,
rewatchables for
yeah,
sure. Hell
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So,
Michael Keaton in here is just
he
he's
was
not Johnny
bringing it.
Dangerously anymore.
Yo, he's not like, dude, he was bringing it.
Yeah,
So it starts out like we said, this movie's one long take, or at least it's edited that way.
yes.
And what I like about this movie, because I do like stage plays and I think they're very fascinating. I find the actors extremely talented to go out and do that shit on a stage like
Just
that,
to memorize.
dude. Just to memorize it and try and deliver the same intensity each and every night. It's just, very impressive to me.
The woman I did the presentation on Carver with, her husband is a stage actor.
That's awesome.
And we were talking about it. I'm like, how does he memorize his lines? I'm fascinated.
She probably helps him.
Well, she said he takes like a notebook and he writes down all of his lines and he says them as he's writing them until he can just say them and write them without looking at the book.
That's
I'm
the best way to memorize.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Writing shit down makes you remember it. Like,
and it reminded me of Mike in the movie. When he's like, how do you know these lines?
Yeah. He's like, I'm that good, man.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
It's just a thing I have.
It's just a thing I have. Don't get hung up on the line thing, okay?
Yeah.
But the play is already disastrous.
Yes.
It's already
hasn't even opened.
It hasn't even opened. It's already disastrous. Costs
yeah.
money.
Yeah, because the one dude gets hit in the head with a light.
Gets hit in the head with the light. And now we're out of an actor. Yep. So they're out an actor. Zach Galifianakis plays his lawyer dash best friend dash financier producer. Yeah. He's literally
he's the guy. He's the glue.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Brandon, that was his name.
Yeah, he's Brandon.
He does everything, and I actually think, although it's not a big role for him, I actually love this role for him.
Yeah, he does really well.
He does. I think he stretched his chops out in this one because he was still funny, but he had a sternness to him you usually don't see from him.
Yeah, because he was coming off of like the Hangover movie.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
so
they were probably pretty much wrapping up.
Yeah,
the Hangover 19 or whatever.
So he was like, I can do something more than just one man Wolfpack.
He's an absolute. I think he's a very good actor. Actually,
you ever seen Between Two Ferns?
Yes. Yo, so good.
Yeah. Like you can't be a bad actor and do that.
Yes, you can. I'm like, so he is very good at what he does, but he's going off on Riggins because he's like, listen, dude, we need a replacement actor. We need somebody affordable. He's like, and he's asking for Michael Fassbender.
Oh yeah,
and Jeremy Renner
and Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson,
says, yeah,
and he's asking for all these guys who are in franchise movies.
He does, yes.
And he's like, Woody's doing the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender's doing X-Men. Pretty cool. And Jeremy Renner's playing Hawkeye. Yeah, he's like, they put that motherfucker in a cape too? Like, that's what I'm like.
Yes, yeah.
So
he's like, he won for the Hurt Locker.
The Hurt Locker, yeah. He's like, who the fuck is Jeremy Renner?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, it's 2014. I do not know who Jeremy Renner is. You're in the business.
Yeah, because by then he was even doing like the Bourne.
He did Bourne movies.
Yes,
he did Bourne, Marvel. He did The Town by then.
Yes.
Like, he was definitely a household name by then, dude.
Yeah.
So that was funny. I was like, of course he doesn't know who Jeremy Renner is. Dude's been Oscar nominated at this point. But so he's like, yeah, none of them dudes are booked. And I think he hit the hard realization, like, man, dude, should I have stepped in this world, or these dudes are fucking making dough?
Yeah, or should I have done this
first? Or should I
have
cut my teeth here and then did that?
Yeah.
He's like, man, because I'd have the money and the credibility.
Yeah.
Instead of just the money, which is running out because he's killing himself putting this damn play on.
Yeah.
So he's trying to Brandon's trying to. I think he does a good job of advising him.
He does.
And being a friend that is stern and loving at the same time.
Yeah, because you can tell that he does love him.
He does. I mean, he says it over and over. You're my best friend, dude. Like, you're my homie. Like, I got you. Like, and he's there working for him, and he deals with all Riggins shit pretty well. Not that Riggins was hard to deal with, but Riggins wanted him to move mountains, bro, and to do it at the snap of his fingers.
And he's a diva.
He is a diva. Oh, so, and anybody like that's gonna be. This guy who's been successful, rich, all that, famous for all these years.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like that, So they keep they're like, who are we gonna get? So like, we're gonna get this Mike guy. Mike is played by Edward Norton, who is a fantastic actor. Edward Norton's been good since fucking Primal Fear, man.
Oh yeah, with Richard Gere.
Oh yeah, he got the Oscar nom for that, right?
Yeah.
He was so good in that, bro. He's like, straighten up when you're talking to me, son. I'm like, oh my lord. I'm like, where did that come from, fella? So he comes through, Mike comes through, and Mike's a stage Broadway guy. He's very known in this world, in this Broadway sense.
Oh yeah, and because Leslie. How do you know Mike? We share a vagina.
So Leslie, one of his co-stars, played by Naomi Watts, who is another incredible wife. The cast in this, they got some heavy hitters. Bro.
They did.
They got some heavy hitters.
But they're like, Michael Keaton, Edward Norton, and Naomi Watts.
Emma Stone.
They're all from franchise movies.
They are all from that's right.
Because
Stone did Spider-Man. And Norton did the Hulk.
And Naomi Watts was in King Kong, the remake of King Kong.
Yep.
Or The Ring, right? Wasn't the first Ring? Wasn't she in that?
Is that her?
I think that was.
It is.
Yeah.
See, I'm weird. Like people are like, what do you know Naomi Watts from? I'm like Mulholland Drive and Eastern Promise, some weird shit no one's ever seen. But it is. I didn't even think about all of them being from some form of a franchise.
Yes, because King Kong started the whole Kong Godzilla thing that we have now. Without Peter Jackson's remake, they wouldn't even have King Kong in there.
And now all of them, not at the time, but now they're all Oscar-nominated actors.
They are.
All of them.
They are.
Emma Stone and won 2 since that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
was this like her first like really serious role? Like, I mean, maybe she did some stuff.
Maybe The Help.
Because I know, when did The Help come out?
That's like 2011 maybe. Or
okay, wow. Maybe.
No, actually, I think The Help might be even older than that. I think The Help came out like, that might be 2010 or 9.
Because, like, she was in Zombieland, obviously.
Zombieland's fun, super bad.
And, like, the Spider-Man movies and everything. And she was in, I think she started out on Malcolm in the Middle, right?
Did she?
I think so, if I'm not mistaken.
You could be right. I don't know.
So it's like, I wonder if this kind of wet her teeth on independent films, like Oscar-worthy independent films.
Yeah, I would say this was definitely the one that did that.
I don't know if wet her teeth is the right...
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
But
cut her teeth.
Cut her teeth. Because, like, everything she did do up to this was more of a blockbustery kind of popcorny type of film.
And The Help would be like, I hate to say it, Oscar bait.
It's Oscar bait as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, let's get it real.
So it's not... It wouldn't have the prestige of, like, Birdman or Poor Things.
I mean, and of course, it got all kinds of love and awards.
Oh, naturally.
Which it was designed to do.
Yeah, I mean...
And 2 of my girls are in it, Bryce Dallas and Jessica Chastain. So like, I ain't mad at the movie. And who I think is one of the best actresses of all times in it, too, Viola Davis. And Octavia Spencer. 2 of the best black chicks to ever touch the screen.
Yeah.
So it's packed with it. The movie was made to be successful, and that's fine. The industry needs that sometimes. So I don't, it's fine. But if you ask her, she's probably like, man, fuck The Help, man.
Yeah.
she's probably like, dude, I'd rather work with Yorgos Lanthimos, bro. Speaking of Kinds of Kindness is fucking crazy, bro.
Is it good crazy?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm weird, though, so I like it. It reminds me of old Yorgos, yo. Like,
okay.
Like, because as much as I love Poor Things, I think it's one of the best films ever. That was definitely made to satisfy a wider audience. Whereas, like, if you look at, like, Dogtooth or The Lobster, like, some of his older films, those are meant to fuck with your mind. And Kinds of Kindness is meant to fuck with your mind.
I haven't seen it, but I could tell from the poster.
Oh, it's...
Because looking at the poster, I'm like, what in the F and F?
Jesse Plemons, bro.
Really?
That kid's good.
My wish, Matt Damon.
Yeah. Dude, bro, okay, so it's split into 3. It's an anthology, and it's the second story. He looks so much like Matt Damon.
Really?
I was, at one point, I was like, that's not Matt Damon, right? I swore Jesse Plemons. I was like, yo, he looks like Matt Damon, bro. It was tweaking me out. But,
hey, he's, for whatever I've seen him in, he's a great actor.
Oh, he's great, dude.
Yeah.
He's so good.
And he's married to Kirsten Dunst.
Yes, he is. He married a great actress.
Yeah, so like,
they've done a lot of work together, too.
Yeah, and that's awesome because it's like, when you have the same like career as your spouse and you're not competing,
It makes it so much better.
Yeah, because then you become a better actor and they become a better actress.
They've grown together.
Yeah,
and she's kind of had this resurgence in her career the last few years.
Because Civil War,
yep. Yeah. Saw that.
And she was on some show where she played like a down and out actress, I think. Kind of like I want to say like in Florida. I forget if it was on Showtime.
Oh, it's probably good because she's good.
Yeah.
And she had that movie, the Jane Campion movie with her, Clemens, Benedict Cumberbatch, Power of the Dog.
Oh, yeah.
She is incredible in that movie.
Wow.
And then, of course, my movie, Melancholia, Lars von Trier, she kills that. I was like, all right, man, Kirsten Dunst.
So she's worked past her Mary Jane issues.
She absolutely has worked past that.
Because, like, she didn't really have to do much in those films.
She didn't. And I think she was just underutilized in those films.
Actually, she was.
She's a very, dude, like, she's way better than people want to
I think she started out at, like, 11 in Interview with the Vampire.
Yeah, dude, and she's fucking great in that
she's
movie.
incredible.
I'm like, she's one of the best actors in the whole fucking movie.
And then wasn't she in Little Women after that with Winona Ryder?
Yeah, Winona. Yeah. Who's that? Christian Bale?
Yeah, Christian Bale's in it.
Yeah, my man's. Yeah. So that's a good one too. That one and the Greta one.
So Christian Bale was in Little Women. Does that mean that your boy Timothée Chalamet may one day be Batman?
He might be bro.
I mean, he's young enough to be him.
He is
later.
young enough to be him later.
Yeah,
because Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
By the time he's Robert's age.
Yeah.
Because Timothee's only like 28, dude.
Yeah, because Pattinson's like.
He's got to be 30.
Mid to late 30s now.
I was like, about 37.
Because he was like 35-ish, I think, when the Batman
first one came out. Yeah. That's perfect. Because he'll probably wrap it up around 42.
Yeah, if they do 3,
They're definitely doing 3, bro.
I'm hoping. Because I still love.
Definitely doing 3.
The Penguin comes out soon.
The show.
Yeah, it's a limited
It's
series.
Colin?
Colin, yes.
Oh, I'm watching that.
Yeah, Max.
I couldn't believe
it's going to be on Max.
Couldn't believe him.
Yeah.
And guys, this is all related.
Yeah, because it's all comic
this movie is about Batman.
Yeah,
in a weird way.
It is. They say Birdman, but it is Batman.
It's Batman. It's for real. I mean, that's why Michael Keaton had to play this part. If he didn't play this part, it wouldn't have the weight.
No, but it makes recasting easier.
The recast is easier, but he had to it had to be Michael Keaton. It had to be that Batman. It couldn't be George Clooney, or it definitely can't be George Clooney.
How dare you?
It can't. A guy that handsome and still as successful, it can't be. It can't be Val Kilmer. Still at that time, still too handsome and successful. It had to be Michael, because Michael was defined by that role for decades, bro. And
yeah, that's true.
He's one.
And he did a lot of shit after that.
A lot of shit, and still people always go back to. But even after he's Beetlejuice, still everyone would go back to Batman until Birdman.
Yeah.
So it changed the game for him. But anywho, these dudes, they hire Mike, and he's very impressed by Mike. He's like, this guy's going to turn it around for me.
Yeah.
He's the man for the job. He's it, and yada, yada, yada.
Ask me if he sells tickets.
Ask me if he sells tickets.
Does he sell tickets?
Yes. He's like, and he does sell tickets. He puts asses in seats. That's what he does.
Yeah.
So Mike, he thinks Mike's going to be the answer to all his problems, when he is and he isn't.
Yes.
He is the answer on a success scale, he is, but God damn it, he's a fucking headache.
Yes, he is.
So he's dating Leslie, who is one of his co-stars in the play. And Leslie, you can tell Leslie don't even like this motherfucker like that.
Yeah,
She deals with him because of who he is.
Yeah, it almost seems like she's trying to use him to get on Broadway.
Yes, she's using him as a stepping stone.
I'm finally on Broadway.
Mm-hmm. It took, man. So that's what it is. I'm like, she don't love this dude. Did she like him? I think yes, but I do think she realized, this is a way in.
Yeah.
So they're dating. Mike comes on right away, is already stirring shit up. He's flirting with his daughter, played by Emma Stone. Her name is Sam. She's a drug addict, and Reagan's hired her, I guess, to keep her clean.
I think to keep an eye on her. Yeah.
And which, that's never a good thing to do as a parent, to squeeze down like that. It's just going to cause more resentment and more problems, which you see later. She comes out and they have a whole scene where she just...
Oh, my God.
She says some shit to him, and I'm like, listen, I understand fathers make mistakes, and I understand...
As a father, yes, they do.
Yes, I understand. But goddamn, dude, like, have a fucking heart. Like, You don't need to rip someone's guts out and show it to them.
Well, you could see like the acting she's able to do with her eyes, especially in that scene.
Her
like,
eyes are very distinct.
Right after she says it, you could tell she regretted it. Even if it was true, you could tell she was like, "Oh shit, what the fuck did I just say?"
I said like the top 5 most hurtful things ever leave my mouth. That's hurtful, man. To say some stuff like that to a guy.
Yeah, he's my dad, but he's also my boss at this point.
Yep, he's my boss, my dad, and it's like, damn, I'm souring a work relationship and a personal relationship.
Yeah.
But I mean, he felt that though, and he took it. His response back may have seemed like combative, but he took everything in and analyzed it, and he did see her point of view. But at the same time, man, I'm like, listen, girl, these kids who act like, oh, my rich daddy wasn't home enough.
Yeah, he was making money so I could have
I fucking have everything in the world.
My mom didn't have to work.
My mom did, bro, I'm like, you be thankful you had a fucking dad who was doing, how many kids don't have dads at all?
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, that shit just pisses me off. I know too many people grew up without a father, bro.
It reminds me, honestly, of the comic book Richie Rich, the original, and it might still be. It was like Richie Rich, the poor little rich
boy.
Yeah, like, what?
What? That was Austin Powers. Daddy wasn't there. Fucking Michael Caine.
But it's like, you had other resources that people that don't actually have fathers don't have. So what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, dude. I'm like, bro, you gotta have a heart, have a soul. So
white people problem. That's what it is. That's one of the things I said to that reverse racism.
You're like,
let's talk more about white people.
I mean, shit, dude. It's honestly, I look at it more as a socioeconomic thing. Like, it's more of a 1% problem.
Yes,
because I know black kids who've been like that too. Oh, my dad works all the time, but we got a built-in pool, and bro, he bought me a Beamer for my 16th. Like, dude, get the fuck out of my face!
Yeah, what the hell?
Get out of my face, rich kid! I was like, you're just a rich kid. But so Sam, she's in recovery.
Yeah, and she just got out of rehab.
Yeah, which is another rich kid problem.
Yeah,
So
the one guy from American Pie was there. That's what she said.
Did she say that?
Yeah.
What guy? Did she?
She never said which one. She's like, because she's talking, I think, Mike about it.
Yo,
she's like, the one guy from American Pie.
Yeah, she did say that.
Yeah. So I don't know which one.
I did like Mike and Sam's weird
chemistry.
Yeah, I did like it. Ed Norton and Emma Stone, I think they had some of the best chemistry of everyone in the film.
Yeah,
but
it seemed more natural.
It did, and I don't know if that's just because they're both that good, because they are, or if like they just clicked like that. But they're interesting. We'll get to them. So Sam, he's dealing with Sam. He's dealing with Brandon. He's dealing with the play. All the actors. He's got a girlfriend.
He has a girlfriend who's in the play.
She's in the play.
Who tells him she might be pregnant. Yeah,
and she's like at least 30 years younger than him.
Yeah, and he's like, "Are you sure it's mine?"
Yo,
how do you feel? Are you sure it's mine?
Are you sure it's mine? Which that's not the first thing you say to her. You should be like, "Oh, awesome." Yeah. But if I'm 60 fucking years old, I'm fucking someone that much younger than me who's still good looking, I'm gonna question it too. Cause I'm like, let's keep it real. Yeah. I'm probably not enough to satisfy this bitch. So she probably goes out and does her thing here and there.
So you're saying that Barron Trump might not be Donald's son, is what you're trying to say?
I mean, sure. There's some dudes.
Because if Barron is 18, that means he would have been 60 when he was born.
That's fucking old.
And his wife would have been a lot younger.
That's old.
Yeah, I'm just throwing that out there.
But you got to be smart and lock down the money, so you might not want to do that.
Well, that's a whole different.
That's a whole different thing. Yeah. But I mean, shit, anybody could not be anybody's kid, man. There's some people I look at and I'm like, bro, don't ever go on Maury. You will get embarrassed. Yo, kid, like my boy, he's got a 2-year-old son, and my boy, he's real dark skinned, but his girl is like ghostly white. So the kid's like a nice, like a nice light skin color. I'm like, dude, that baby might be white skin, but he got your face like a mother, bro. I'm like, that is your kid to the max, bro. I'm like, dude, his whole face is you. It's insane.
Wow.
So he can never deny. I was like, don't go on Maury, son. You will get embarrassed.
Is that your buddy with all the Crocs?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he got all the damn Crocs. I don't know why he got all the Crocs.
A quick aside, he might be interested to know this, so you can pass this on. I just saw a thing, I think it was on Colbert. He was talking, McDonald's and Crocs are going to have Grimace Crocs and Hamburglar Crocs.
No, that's actually kind of dope.
Yeah. So you might end up seeing them. I don't know.
I might see them.
Yeah.
Dude, the Grimace ones would be sick. They both would be sick.
Yeah. You might have to look them up, or I'll send you the clip or something meanwhile.
They might be kind of lit.
Yeah, because it was like...
I wouldn't wear them.
I was like, Grimace and Hamburglar.
Hamburglar was always my favorite character.
I mean, how do you feel about it, Hamburglar? Robble, robble. Robble, 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 robble. Robble, robble. We should just have the Robble Robble podcast.
Dude, I mean, really, like...
just say Robble Robble all the time.
And it's like, Robble. You got it. So he's got all this shit going on, and he's stressed out, and I can't blame him. Trying to do all this shit by yourself. That's I'm like, dude, he should have got a fucking director, bro.
And you could tell he probably wrote it and directed it because he didn't have the money for the director.
Yeah.
I just thought of it just now.
Yeah, but
like if you put all the money into like the space and paying the other actors,
right, that space probably costs so much.
In New York,
Oh my god, I can only imagine.
Yeah,
and he's there night after night, and I'm like, I can only imagine, dude.
Because those plays, sometimes they take years to put together. Obviously, that one is probably just a few scenes, so it's not like a Lion King, or Beauty and the Beast or whatever. But it's like
some shit.
Yeah, but all that stuff is like Disney money. Whereas, it's still
crazy.
Real estate in New York on Broadway.
On Broadway.
Yeah, like he didn't even start off Broadway.
He didn't.
No.
So him and Mike, they actually do have a little bit of chemistry when they first rehearse together and go through it, and everyone's feeling good about the decisions.
Yeah.
Until we get to preview night.
Did you switch my gin with water?
My gin with water?
Yeah.
He's like, Mike, you're drunk, bro. Calm down.
Yeah. It's Raymond Carver. I'm supposed to be drunk.
The only real thing here is this chicken. So I'm going to act with this chicken.
He says something.
Fake fruit, fake fridge.
What he says about Raymond Carver is awesome. He says he left a piece of his liver on the table each time he wrote a page.
That's pretty cool.
Which tells you a lot about, like, how much Raymond Carver drank.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
And when you read his writing, especially, like, they really do a pretty good job of adapting that story in the parts that they show you.
Mm-hmm.
And the story is actually incredible. And I remember reading it when I was a freshman, like many moons ago.
Mm-hmm.
And in a short story class I took. And I didn't get it because I was like 18 or 19. But I reread it a couple weeks ago, and I was like, wow, this really...
You're like, I get it. Now that you've gone through some life.
Yeah.
You got to have some life experience to understand some of those.
Yeah, so you realize then, like, him as a writer, he went through a lot of stuff. Like, if he was a drinker, there was a reason.
There was a reason.
Sometimes it's not just, like, hereditary.
Sometimes stress.
It's like, life.
Life. Stress and life.
Yeah.
One day it's a shot, next day it's a bottle.
Yeah.
It does happen that way, and
I think Mike is a method actor like that.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's like, if this is how Raymond Carver was, this is how his characters are. So I have to be that way because to be authentic to the character and the writer who wrote that character.
Mm-hmm. And you could tell Mike. He might be an asshole. He's a student of the game.
Yeah.
He knows his shit, and he goes through the methods of certain guys who have blessed Broadway, guys like Brando and stuff like that. He gives that whole little speech to Riggins about how this isn't your fucking stage.
Yeah, this is Jason Robards.
Yeah, he's like, there's a lot of guys whose stage this has been in the past and even now, but you ain't one of them.
Yeah.
And as much as that may seem like a dig on him, he's right.
Yeah.
Like, you haven't earned this.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
You're just dipping your toe in the pool, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dudes have been submerged in this water for decades, and you're just kind of a passerby in this game.
Because look, even James Dean was a stage actor
which
first.
is crazy.
Yeah.
So, and he is right, and I do have to agree with him there. But so he gets pissed off. He wants to fire Mike and all this.
Yeah.
Brandon's like, we ain't having it. Because this motherfucker brought in a bunch of money. Everyone's excited. Getting him on has turned this thing around. And that was just
one day.
It's one day.
Yeah.
So it's like getting him on has turned this thing around. So he's like, you're going to have to fucking deal with the guy. It's just a preview. It is what it is. And they go to the bar afterwards, Mike and Riggs. And Riggs is all pissed off. And he's like, listen, bro. He's like, this preview. He's like, this is what the fucking poor folks do, on a Thursday night because they got nothing better to do. All it fucking matters is that opening day.
Yeah,
this shit matters, bro.
Yeah, because it's people who pay half price.
Yeah, he's like they
watch us practice,
watch us rehearse. Yeah, they pay half price to watch us rehearse.
Yeah, because he says something really interesting.
He's got a lot of quotes. There's so many quotes. That's why I'm like.
I think in that scene he says popularity is a slutty little cousin of
prestige. I have that quotes, which I thought that was one of the best quotes in the film.
Actually,
don't hate me because I'm popular, and he's like, popular is a slutty little cousin of prestige.
Yeah, because that's after the woman wants his picture, right?
Yep.
And can you take this picture?
Actually,
who the fuck Mike is?
He said that beforehand, and then it was kind of thrown in his face when they get to the bar. Because he was like, don't be mad that people like me and people know who I am. And he kind of says that, but then it's like, damn, we're both kind of right.
Yeah, because outside of the theater, who the fuck knows who
Mike is? You're just that chick had no idea who this dude was.
She's like, can you take this picture?
She's like, hey, random guy who's a regular ass dude, can you take this picture? Like, that's pretty much what she said. She's like,
and look, he could have hulked out.
He could have, what I'm saying? He could have hulked out. So that's just turned green.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I thought that was funny too. I was like, wow, and I never noticed that the first couple of times I watched this movie, how this movie's written so fucking well that it puts the mirror in your face of who you are and who the outside world perceives you as from every angle.
Yeah.
It forced Mike to look in the mirror, it forced Riggins to look in the mirror. Even though they both ultimately think everything I do is right, this movie forced both of them to look at each other and each other's sides and empathize with them a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I know a lot of people wrote this movie. There's like 4 or 5 dudes who get writing credits on this. But the way Iñárritu fucking executed this and brought
he was one of the writers.
Yeah, he is one of the writers. But the way he brought this out in the direction is fascinating. It's really just a character study on age, wealth, and how it goes when, life changes that around, and all the stuff that Sam says to him about how everyone just wants to be someone and everyone just wants to have their purpose. And you're no different than everybody else fighting for their place and their spot in the world and who want to feel acceptance and importance. It's fucking brilliant ass writing that anyone on this planet can relate to on any scale, whether it's a large scale or a small scale. It's so true to life. And I was just like, man, I'm older now, watching this, and I've gone through life experiences myself and dealt with my own mortalities. So I definitely can empathize with Riggins as a character and Mike as a character because I get where they're both coming from. And
I'm sorry. No. There's some good quotes here from Andy Mattioli. Wrote an article on the Love Film Love website about Birdman. He rewatched it like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And he says the need for validation, in fact, is the key ingredient in Iñárritu's successful attempt at adapting Raymond Carver. Much like Carver's protagonist, every character in Birdman is faced with a dysfunctional reality, a reality they clearly struggle to fit in. The world these people inhabit has chewed up and spit them back out, both in personal and professional terms. And for some reason, they all find themselves clinging on to this play written, directed, and starring Regan Thompson. And so even Mike, because he has He's very volatile.
Yep.
Because remember, even in the beginning when they were like, "Oh, is he available?" and Leslie's like, "Yeah, he was quit or fired or something."
Mm-hmm.
You know, because we thought he was doing something else.
Yep.
It's like, did he quit or was he fired? Like, we still don't know because he's kind of a
either or. You ain't got a job.
Yeah.
Either or, you're unemployed.
So he needs this as much as Reagan needs him.
But he don't want to admit that.
No, and he can't.
And he can't bring himself to say, "Oh, I need this guy who is everything I think is wrong with the world of acting, with the world of prestige acting." He's like, "This guy is everything I don't stand for, yet I need this motherfucker so bad."
Yeah.
And they both need each other. It's a marriage that they may not love, but you don't want to get divorced either.
Yeah. So we got to keep up the pretense for the kids.
Yes. Got to keep up appearances.
Yeah. The audience will be the kids. That analogy.
And that's what I'm like, man, the writing in this is incredible because, especially when you look at it through Sam's eyes, because although Sam, I don't love her character, I think she was one of the smartest characters in the film, and I think she spoke the most truth to everyone.
Oh, she did, totally.
Yeah, she kept it 100. She kept it 100 with Mike. She kept it 100 with herself, and she kept it 100 with her father. And all the men in her life needed her because they needed to hear what she had to say because they all have inflated egos that needed to be just deflated a little bit.
Yes.
Like, you need to realize the world doesn't revolve around you. If you die today, it's going to keep spinning. It's going to go on. Someone's going to take your spot. People are going to forget who you are. And that is the sad reality of almost everyone in life. No one wants to go out and not be remembered for something.
Yeah.
To not have any kind of credibility to their name. When you hear the name Regan Thompson, oh, great actor, prestige guy, good father. You want that, but guess what? That's not how the world necessarily
the guy from Birdman 30-some years ago.
The old dude who was a star in 1980, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's how life is. I may think in my head, people look at me like, "Oh, Dom, cool dude, in shape, great skater, funny guy." When in reality, like, this dude's fucking annoying as hell.
I don't think anyone would say that, but
I can be a lot at times, and I know that I'm aware of my own faults and things. I think I'm a cool dude. Sure, sometimes I can be a lot, and I get that. But that's anyone. And I've had to go through life and have people give me reality checks to realize the fault in my characters. I'm not a perfect guy. And I can't sit here and say I didn't have a fucking crazy ego in my teens and early 20s, because I did. But growing up over the last 10 years, it's been some of the best things. I would never want to go back to that version of me. I like the version of me where I'm aware of my shortcomings because it makes me better in other areas. That's just me on a personal level.
Yeah, because if you know your weaknesses, you can parlay that into like building up your strengths.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you cash a reality check? That's what I need to
do. Dude, I need to figure it out.
I have so many.
Yeah. I'd be a millionaire if I could get them. Like, where's the reality bank? Bank of America, Bank of Reality.
Yeah, that's what I need. Come on.
No, so Reagan's and Mike, as much as they may hate each other, they have this weird respect for each other.
They do.
Because they both desire something they each have that they don't. Reagan's wants the credibility and Mike wants popularity. If you can marry the two, you're golden.
Yes, yeah.
And only, there's guys who have it. Less than 1%.
Yeah.
We can't all be Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
You can't be Iron Man and Charlie Chaplin at the same time.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, look, you do have right now, like Hugh Jackman. I think Daniel Radcliffe does a lot of stage work too.
Yeah, he does. He's a big stage.
Yeah. So, you have those guys that carried the big franchises now, but are still able to do, I hate to say legitimate theater, but we'll put air quotes around legitimate theater. So they have that respectability with that crowd, plus like the Comic-Con crowd.
He's a hit at Comic-Con, and he's a hit on the streets of New York.
Yes, yeah. It doesn't matter.
Either or. And that's great for Hugh. And, he's fucking Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's great. But these guys, man, that bar scene was, after the preview, was so powerful. It was I was very glued to everything that was being said there.
Oh, you see that woman who looked like she just licked the bum's ass?
Like the bum's ass?
Yeah.
Gosh, she does look like she licked the homeless guy's ass.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was. The homeless guy's ass, yes.
And so that part is funny. And, we'll get to her.
Yeah.
Fuck her. But, I'm so glad they wrote that in because, God, everyone in the film needed a reality check, even down to the movie critic who you only see a couple times in the film.
Yeah.
Every single person, like, and I think that was, the writing in this is so good. So these guys, they see the reviewer, the woman who looks like she licked a homeless guy's ass.
Yeah.
And Mike explains to him, it don't matter what happens at that fucking play. As long as she writes a good review, we're good.
Yeah.
And it's like
her 500 words.
Yeah, her 500. And it's like, how in the fuck does one fucking person's opinion gonna generate how good my work that I put so much into, this one person don't like it, so it means it's bad?
That's a really good question that they bring up, obviously.
And I'm like, so some asshole, one of my favorite lines, you don't take no risk. She takes no fucking risk. You sit behind your damn notebook and you hide your face. You don't fucking go out there and do what these guys do. And you never probably could. You wouldn't have the balls. But you can sit here from your ivory tower and write some fucking bullshit and destroy my career when you've never even done this shit. You went to school for writing. Great. You never fucking got up there and put yourself out there for millions, thousands, however many people to see. Yeah. Like what we do, we're putting ourselves out there for people to see. Someone could come and be like, oh, their podcast sucks. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Well, I don't hear you out there doing what we're doing. Let me hear your podcast.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
To put yourself out there is...
Wow, you're passionate.
I mean, because I've been putting myself out there in everything I do my whole life. I've always been an athlete, a performer, or whatever in some kind of way. I put myself out there. And I've taken criticism from people who've never done a damn thing in their life or never tried or never had any passions or and never cared about anything enough to take it to a level more than surface. So I'm sorry if I'm going on. I'm up early.
No. Look, man. You need passion for that kind of stuff because Reagan was passionate.
Yeah, he was
about it. And it reminds me, and I'm not trying to be funny for once, but it might end up being. Remember, I think it's Annie Hall when Woody Allen says, those who can't do teach,
they teach,
and those who can't teach Jim.
Teach Jim,
yeah.
Yes, that's a
So it's kind of like
he says that when they're in the car.
Yeah,
I don't know why I remember that whole scene so vividly.
It's a great movie.
It is,
but like that, she's the teacher.
She's the teacher
because she can't do what Reagan does or what Mike does.
And I would even respect her way more if she was an actual teacher. If you're actually teaching people how to act, teaching people how to write. You're just sitting there writing whatever the fuck you think in your little stupid head.
Yeah.
Not saying you're not smart because you clearly have a history and a knowledge of the things you're talking about in order to put it in perspective to make people see whether it's good or not. But you ain't never gone out there and tried it.
No, not at all.
You can write over and over. I can write 100,000 drafts of something until it's right. You get on a stage, you got one shot.
Yeah, that's
you got one shot.
Yeah.
I could sit here in a
something.
race.
It's 8 miles.
Yeah, it's 8 miles. I was literally so Lose Yourself literally ran through my head at that moment when I said that. I was like, damn, I sound like Eminem out here.
Hey man.
But
you're more Reese's Pieces than Eminem.
Yeah, I'm a little more Reese's Pieces than Eminem. But so sorry for that rant, guys. I know, like I can, like,
dude, I appreciate it. Don't apologize.
Oh,
because how you feel is valid, so you should never apologize for your feelings.
You're right. You're right. But I mean, shit. You would think I wrote this damn play.
No, but
I understand
that's how good it is because
because
you can relate to his passion and his anger in those few times that he actually shows it.
But at the same time, it's like I said earlier, you can understand where the critic's coming from a little bit because you're kind of just jumping headfirst into a world that it took people a lot of practice, time, and effort to get any kind of credibility in. And you get it because you had
put on a Lycra suit.
Yep, because you put a suit on and you made billions of dollars for people. So you automatically get to jump to the top of the ladder where other people were fucking crawling and fighting and scratching at it. So I understand both sides, and that's why this movie's written so well.
And it does say something about the need for experience before you do something.
As a skateboarder,
Yeah.
tell you right now. Sorry, I had to take a drink of water. As a skateboarder, you have to inch your way up to things.
Why?
Why? Mostly because you don't want to break your neck and die. But
that makes sense.
Listen, you don't just hop. And like I see a lot of these young kids now skating. They expect to be pro level in 6 months.
Oh.
Like, bro, it takes fucking years and years and years of this shit to fucking get good, man. Like, you don't just get on a board and you're jumping downstairs. You gotta jump off a curb first.
So they want to be like Tony Hawk in his 50s.
Yeah.
At like 14.
20. Tony Hawk's been skating for 35, 40 years.
Yeah.
They're like, I need to be that good right now. Yeah. Oh, I didn't land a kickflip my first day skating. I quit. What?
Yeah, what?
I know a dude, it took him 2 years to kickflip, man. Like, come on. So everything takes time and practice. And Riggins had to learn that. Riggins had to learn, like, in order to get somewhere, you got to make some more sacrifices.
Wait, hold on really quick. You were just looking at September, weren't you?
Yeah. I mean,
one of your favorites.
I love Ingrid.
Yeah, one of your favorites.
I love that movie. And I love Ingrid Bergman. She is a Swedish gem.
But yeah, you're right. He I'm sorry.
No, I did look at it because that's such a good film.
He expected something that he didn't earn.
Mm-hmm. So
he kind of gets like slapped in the face many times.
Many times. What? Yeah. By everyone.
Yes.
Everyone slaps him in the face. So they go on though, man, and dude, he's going through it. He's got issues with his ex-wife. I won't say they have issues, but they're in communication and they have a nice relationship.
Yeah, they seem amicable.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But she definitely resents him.
She does.
Some things he's done.
Because she actually says why.
Yeah, she does.
She's like, well, I was thinking, why did we ever get divorced? Oh, this is why.
You were... he does some things.
Yeah.
But she's like, well, guy, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
It makes sense. But,
yeah,
he's dealing with her. And I think she's actually a good balance for him. She puts everything the world's throwing at him into perspective.
Yeah.
And he's able to digest it a little bit better. And I liked her character. That actress, she's really good. She's in a lot of good stuff.
Did she start out on The Daily Show?
She might have, but...
Because I know she was on The Office at one point.
She's in this movie with Paul Giamatti. I really
like. Win. Yeah, that's a great movie.
So good.
Yeah, that's a great one.
I loved her in that. She was very good in that.
Because that came out, what, like 2010? 2011,
yeah. One of them.
Yeah, that was a good one.
It's a great movie. Paul Giamatti, always.
Yeah.
That's good. If you guys ever seen Win, check that out. It's a very good wrestling movie. Paul Giamatti's a wrestling coach. It's great.
Yeah, one of his... The Leftovers, one of his best.
Yeah, The Holdovers.
The Holdovers, yeah. Leftovers is a TV show. I'm sorry. Yeah. The Holdovers.
I had a friend. They asked me for a film recommendation. I was like, "What's streaming at you guys?" They're like, "Oh, not much." They're like, "Oh, I got Peacock or Paramount or whatever." I was like, "Oh, The Holdovers on that. Watch that." They were like, "Oh, so good." I was like, "Yeah, see,
everyone who's watched that I've recommended it to has loved it too.
It's great, bro. It's great." So he's dealing with this stuff, but I think he's growing as the play is growing. But Mike is kind of becoming insufferable. Mike, he tries to have sex with Leslie, like live on stage, even though he hasn't had sex with her in months.
They used to call that kind of thing, believe it or not, this is an old phrase, pulling a boner. Is actually what they used to call it. He pulls a boner on stage.
I mean, hey, she was like, you ain't been able to get up in 6 months, but now you gonna fuck me in front of 800 people.
Honestly, one of the greatest scenes in the film, as far as setup and the lines that people are speaking, are that scene when he actually gets it up on stage, and he has to say something to Michael or to Riggins' character.
So I know this is hard for you.
Yeah. And Riggins just looked down.
Bro, that scene is one, I've seen the movie a few times over the years.
Yeah.
That scene never has left me. I laugh so hard every time I see that part. And Ed Norton's just so good in that scene. Ed Norton is he's one of the most talented guys we've ever had. I think he's actually one of the most underrated actors in the game because he's super rich, but it's not from acting. He's like really smart investor in real estate.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah, Ed Norton's sitting on like 300 something million bucks.
Oh,
bro.
wow.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
Wow.
A dude who don't do movies that much is richer than dudes who does movies every year.
Wow.
But he was brilliant in that scene, and so was Naomi Watts. And another funny part about that scene is after they go off stage, and she's like, he's trying to fuck me in front of 800 people. She said, "Oh,
that's kind of hot."
Yeah. I was like, dude, and that scene just made me think along. We're going to speed this up because I did not think this movie was going to make me talk this much. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right.
But one thing I liked about that scene, it shows you how different people are.
Yeah.
Because and perspectives. She looked at it as a negative, gross. You make me feel this kind of dirty way. And the other chick was like, God, that's so hot. She probably felt like, God, wish Riggins would feel like that about me on stage. That would make me feel so loved. Like just how people take love and the perceptions of it. I don't know.
Well, that's what play are they doing? What we talk about when we talk about love.
The writing.
So that's why if you look at like the parallels, I have another quote if you don't mind.
No, go ahead, bro.
It's like, but like in Carver's writing, this is from the same article, but like in Carver's writing, the film's characters fail to see that their loneliness and sorrow is shared by others too. Almost every scene in the film is a confrontation on unfriendly terms, similarly to Carver's stories where each exchange between lonely characters feels like it's building up to something akin to an apocalypse.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there's one more if you'll bear with me. So Goffman's theory that we all wear masks and life is a stage for us to perform in is well known by now, and Carver transported that belief into his story set in the Midwest with blue-collar people drowning their anguish in pints of cheap whiskey and gin. The mask, the act of revealing their true selves, was central to Carver's body of work. Without it, his characters had no reason to go on living. Revealing their true identities, whether to their relatives or total strangers, was the greatest display of intimacy in his writing. And you see that reflected in the film, because this is actually a review of the film where this guy's making these comparisons.
This is a good review. This guy really knows his shit.
Yeah. And it's like, so it's interesting because their lives end up paralleling the story they're trying to adapt.
Which is, man.
And that's the same thing even with like Riggin, like his life is kind of falling apart. Like
just like the guy he's playing.
Like when he goes out for the smoke.
Yeah. And then he gets locked out. So I was going break. You know what? Let's just jump right to that scene because I was like, before we get into the questions and shit, we have to talk about that scene because that's kind of the turning point.
That is a turning point for his entire life. Yeah.
So Riggins, so after that play with the boner situation, Mike and Sam go on the roof. Mike has a smoke and they play a game of Truth or Dare. And in this game, Sam's clearly attracted to Mike. And in this game, she asks him if he want to hook up with her. And he said no. And she wanted to know why. Because she's probably like, well, you already told me I have a great ass and all this. And he's clearly flirting with me or attracted to me. Why wouldn't you want to hook up with me? And he's like, and he kept it real. I'm afraid I couldn't get it up. And she's like, it didn't seem to be a problem on stage.
Yeah.
And Riggins ends up seeing them hooking up. And he, not being able to do anything about it at the moment, you can tell he's pissed off. The only thing he can do is have a smoke. Yeah. So he asked, like, I don't know, one of the prop guys or something for a cigarette.
Probably a PA, production assistant or something. Yeah.
He lights it in the building.
Yeah.
Starts smoking it, but then goes outside.
Yes, he does.
Why go outside?
If you're already smoking.
Indoors. So he goes outside. The door fucking shuts on his robe and it locks. The robe is stuck.
And nobody hears him knocking.
Nobody hears. I don't know how no one heard this dude.
Well, the play is going on.
It is, but that door was like, boom, boom. Like, that was one of them old, like, metal ass doors that, like, echoes when you fucking knock.
Like the kind of door in, like, an old gym at
bro.
Like your elementary school.
Yeah, you go hear that. You knock on that bellows. So they didn't hear him, though. So the robe, he got to go through the front. Dude, he has to take the robe off. He walks through time. Walks through Time fucking Square as a famous guy in his whitey titans. People are taking pictures.
Everybody sees
autographs. It is. I don't know what was happening in New York then. It was booming.
Yeah,
everybody was out in Times Square.
Yeah,
I'm like, damn, bro. So of course people recording. He comes in through the front door, and the people are like, "Oh,
you can't go in there, sir." Yeah, they don't even know it's him.
They don't know it's him. He's like, they're like, "It's already on. You can't go." He's like, "This is me. I gotta go in." So he busts through the front door of the so he's facing the stage behind the crowd.
Yeah,
and he starts delivering his lines.
Oh my god, that was incredible.
He was passionate. He came in with fire, and man, truthfully, that was like one of the highlights of Michael Keaton's performance in this whole movie.
Yeah,
was him coming in, busting in like that, and he just spit it like nothing was wrong.
Yeah,
and we heard the famous "I know this is hard for you" line.
yeah. I love the fact that the film also keeps showing that same scene over and over again because his character Ed, who he's playing at that moment, is like, I don't exist. Like, I don't matter. And it's almost like every time he does it, he's coming to that realization about himself.
Woo! Yes, that's what I was like. That and I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to say, I'm like, they keep showing the same thing to show the progression or regression of him as a man.
Yes.
Because every time he does it, his emotions change.
If I say it's a little bit of both, I know that sounds weird because they would almost cancel each other out, but
it is kind of like both.
Yeah, he needs to regress in order to move forward.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this writing is so yin and yang. It's like not even funny. Like that's what I'm like, and I think you needed all the writers to get all these different angles and perspectives. Because if one guy wrote this, I just don't see it having all these different angles that work so well.
And if you read Raymond Carver, you might get something different out of it than I do.
And that's probably would.
And that's the beauty, I think, of having more than one writer. Is that they're all analyzing the same work and trying to make something based on it. But if they all see it differently, it can all coalesce together into that and show life as a 360 instead of 90 degrees.
90 degrees, yeah.
Yeah.
So he goes through the play. Sam shows him a video.
Oh, yeah.
Him out in Times Square.
It went viral.
300,000+ views right there. And she's like, this is good for you, dude.
Yeah.
Like, your Twitter's blowing up. You can got all these followers and all this. Because she's trying to show him the importance of social media and things like that to keep yourself relevant. And he's kind of an older man stuck in his ways. And he's like, that shit don't matter. When she's like, dude, it does.
It does now, yeah.
Like, in this day and age, I mean, it really does now. This is 2014.
Yeah.
Shit, 2024, it's almost everything.
Because he even says to her earlier on, he's like, you and your friends just want to go viral.
Yeah.
You know? And it's like, he doesn't even know what that is. You can tell when he says it. I mean, remember, 2020 was the year that COVID went viral.
Yeah. Went real viral. It went very viral.
What?
Went super viral.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Because that's what happened. Like, I think, did she start a Twitter account for him then?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
She did start it for him.
So she ends up being his like social media
manager.
Yeah. Curator.
Yeah. Whatever you want. There's an actual.
There is a term. Yeah.
I just can't think of what it is. You guys can let us know.
It might actually be curator.
It might be. You could be right. I have no idea. So after that, he goes down to the bar, and then he buys the chick, the critic.
Yeah, the critic.
I can't remember her name. Fuck her.
Yeah, homeless ass licker.
Yeah, homeless ass licker. That's the car. He buys her a drink, and he goes and has a conversation with her, and he's just trying to be nice, and essentially like, hey, I hope you enjoy the play tomorrow. You know? And she's like, I'm gonna fucking bury you. I'm gonna ruin you in this town. You're done. I don't like you. I don't like what you stand for. I don't like what you've done. I don't appreciate your work. None of that. You don't belong here. This is my town. I set the fucking rules. Being a total fucking word I'm not gonna say. And
see you next Tuesday.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say.
Well, that's when I'll see you then.
Yep, you'll see you next Tuesday. I'm like, wow. I'm like, of course I remember this scene, but it hit a lot harder this time watching. I think it's because I've been putting myself out there since I last saw this movie like he is. And I'm like, do you know how much work he's put into this? Time, effort, money, energy. You know, sacrifices.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even doing what I do on his scale, and I know that now. The sacrifice in relationships, the sacrifice in your spare time and your sleep and the things you love and care about, your family, your health, everything.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, to try and make a dream work, to try and make something work. And she's just dismissing him no matter what the merits of what he's putting out there is. She don't care about the content. All she cares about is his name is fucking Riggins Thompson.
Yeah.
And I don't like you. You're a stupid man in a costume. And that is, God, that mentality and logic is some of the most toxic you could ever find.
Yes.
I'm like, why don't you give him a fucking chance?
Yeah.
Why don't you just watch it? And he basically is like, you don't take any fucking risk. You don't put yourself out there. You don't know what it's like. And I love when he lit her up. I was like, yes, get her, Michael. Get her, Keaton. Yeah. I was like, man, I'm sitting here. I'm like, dude, he should have won the Oscar for this movie, man. He went stupid. But the play goes on. And Riggins is very depressed.
He is. And there was a scene where Mike
tells him about the gun.
Yeah, he's like, I can see the red stopper in the gun.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't scare me. I'm not scared, Riggins.
Yeah.
Yep. He wasn't scared. So what does Riggins do? He gets a real gun, you know, so he's scared.
Yeah.
And in this play, the character he's playing commits suicide. And this man goes out in front of about 800 to 1,000 people, shoots his fucking self in the face.
He does. He does.
Which is crazy. Which leads to one of the funniest ending scenes ever.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and we didn't even talk about his conscience, essentially.
Well, we probably will.
We will in the scenes and quotes. Because I got them quoted up.
Yeah.
But, you know, he has this. He essentially admits to his wife that he has an imaginary friend that he talks to, and she's like, "I wish you would have told me that."
Yeah,
but, you know, his Birdman persona has never left his mind.
No,
and so that mentality, that ego, is always there in his head.
But that's a good way to look at it. His ego.
It's his ego,
that's exactly
or whatever. Yes, that's exactly what it is. Yeah. So he ends up in the hospital, but he is a hit.
Oh,
he's a hit.
He is.
He blew up. The reviews are outstanding. The crowd loved it.
Yeah, I think even that woman loved it.
The woman loved it. She did. She was going to bury him, and she loved it. And it's like, bro, how do you sit there and write a shitty review when he's getting a standing ovation from every single person there?
Yeah.
And I'm like, because if I'm at that show and I read a bad review for it, I was there. That is not how this went.
It would be like reading a bad review for like Nirvana Unplugged, and you were
it's like,
huh?
I mean, did you listen? I mean, I could listen to the CD and know that review is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're talking about one of the best live albums of all time. So he ain't got he got to get a new nose. He got a new nose. You know, he's in the hospital. And
Birdman's taking a dump
in the bathroom.
That's probably my favorite scene with Birdman.
It's so funny. Yeah. It's the way the door opens.
Yeah. Because he has been seeing Birdman
a little bit. You hear him mostly, but towards the end you start to see him. They don't show him a lot. And watching this again, I'm like, I don't know why I felt like they showed him a lot more before, but they didn't.
When I was watching it the very first time, like 10 years ago, that's probably why I turned it off. I'm like,
where's the Birdman?
Yeah, where's Birdman?
You're like, I'm craving the superhero lover in you was craving Michael Keaton's Batman.
Yeah, but now, 10 years later, I'm like, I love all the other stuff.
Yeah, it's great. And so he has a scene where it ends with him going to the window.
Yeah.
And essentially flying away.
Yes.
And I don't know what it's supposed to symbolize, that his mind is free or that he's free of I don't know.
He's free as a bird.
Free as a bird. That's what I thought. I was like, this could go on. And I actually think it's brilliant the way it ends, because it just leaves you open-ended with a lot of questions and gives you a reason to watch it again.
Well, and also because it shows you earlier when he's flying that he really wasn't.
That he was not.
So it's like, but that's what's going on in his head. So when his daughter sees him flying, Does she really
Does
see
she
him
really see
flying?
him flying?
Or are they both? Because he's hopped up on drugs from the hospital.
Yeah.
He would have to be because of his face.
Faded. You saw his
surgery
face.
and
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, are they both? I hate to say hopped up on goofballs.
Yeah, because maybe she took a little bit of his ID.
Yeah. You never know. But it's almost like they're finally on the same level because she can see what he sees, or he can see what she sees.
I think they hit an unspoken understanding there because she saw. I think she saw that he was far more than what she thought he was as a dad, a person, a performer, and everything.
Yes, yeah.
And I think he sees her side as a young person trying to fit in and fight in this world.
Yeah.
In an ever-changing world that it's dog eat dog, way more than it was for you in 88, bro.
And how can you ever compete with a famous parent?
Exactly, bro. You know it's like nepotism ain't gonna work for me.
Yeah.
You know? So there's
because that could have been
so much
the backstory of like her drug habit. You don't even know.
Like, man, I wanted to be an actor too, but I couldn't make it. Who fucking knows?
Yeah,
you know? Or she was just a rich kid hanging out, got hooked on drugs.
Yeah, that's true.
But man, this movie's great. Yeah, it's great. I like it a lot more watching it again. I'm probably gonna change my Letterboxd score on it and move it up a little bit.
What was your Letterboxd?
I think it's a solid 4. I might have to move it to a 4.5. Dude.
Wow,
it's a just. I didn't think I would be able to relate to it so much at only my 30s.
Yeah.
So it's like, but now I'm like, man, I feel so many of the characters in this movie. But let's get into it.
Okay.
MVP.
I mean, there has to be 3 in my mind.
I like
Michael Keaton,
Iñárritu,
and the editor. Whoever the editor is, I should have looked it up.
He's fucking great.
And you know what? That drummer.
Doing music. Yeah, the score is great.
Yeah.
The score is great.
So honestly, there's 4. That drummer, because I assume he's the one who was on the score when they show him.
He had to be.
Because incredible. The way that because it's mostly just him drumming.
And he knows exactly when to intensify.
Oh my God, yeah.
When to slow it down.
Yeah, it's good. It's perfect.
I had Iñárritu and Keaton, but I like throwing in the editor and whoever did the drumming and the score. That works. The behind the scene guys get a lot of credit for the way this film looks.
Yeah, for having it come together the way it did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that scene where he walks into the liquor store and it's got all the Christmas lights.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the way that shit was shot, I was like... Oh.
And even that dude who's like shouting the whole time.
Yes.
And then he's like, I was just trying to set you up or something, man. Is that all right? And he's looking at him like, what the fuck? Yeah.
This shit's great.
Yeah.
Peak season.
God, because he's doing... And actually, after this, he did such great stuff. I want to say Michael Keaton, but...
It is Keaton's, bro. It's Keaton and Iñárritu.
Yeah.
He won Best Picture and Best Director.
Because, like,
The Revenant was great right after this.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was more of a Leo show than a Iñárritu show.
Okay, yeah. Wow. Yeah, because I wasn't sure about Keaton because I loved him in The Flash, and you said he was great in Beetlejuice.
Oh, he's great.
He was
great
in
the original Beetlejuice.
I think he played
Batman.
I think he played Ray Kroc in The Founder.
The Founder, yeah. He's that too.
He's been doing so much stuff, and he wrote and directed, or maybe not wrote, but he starred in and directed a movie about like an assassin or something recently too, like maybe in the past year. So he's been doing a lot more stuff.
He's been working, man.
Yeah, but yeah, you know what? You're probably right because this is the one where people are like, he can do anything.
Got an Oscar nom. Really got to show he really got to stretch out his chops in this.
Yeah.
Like, when have we seen a movie where he's like the man like this?
Yeah.
Like, this is his show.
And with the rest of the cast, too. Like, they could have overshadowed him easily. Oh, my
God. Ed Norton,
yeah.
Naomi Watts, he could easily got shit on. But he didn't.
The restraint that they showed, yeah, you're right.
He held it up. So.
Yeah, you're right. I agree.
All right, so best quotes. I'm going to go through mine, and then you can throw in any you want, but I have a lot, so let me run through them. Okay.
You might just have them all now that I think about it.
Yeah, I might. It smells like fucking kimchi when she's getting him the flowers.
Yes.
For the shit. Fuck. They put him in a cape too?
Yeah.
He's talking about Jerry Renner. That clown doesn't have hair. Your talent, but he's making a fortune in that tin suit.
Yes.
Yes. They want to spooge on him.
Oh yeah.
Talking about Mike.
Yeah. On his face.
On his face.
Yeah.
Fucking Brandon. I don't need the script. Just give me a cue.
Oh yeah,
He's first working with Mike. I kind of love that I'm talking about. The kind of love that I'm talking about is absolute.
Oh yeah,
that was a quote from the play.
Yeah, that's actually in the story.
In the story, which I thought that was a very good line.
Yeah, because just really quick in the story, I think they're both remarried, the couples, and they're telling the story about this guy Ed, who she used to be married to, and they split up, and then she's with this other guy, and he like shoots himself, but he used to like beat her and stuff.
Well,
like that's the point. It was an abusive relationship. Okay. And she's like, but he just loved me so much. He didn't know how else to show it.
You see, I was about to say, dude, there's some people like that who are like, yeah, well, that's how he shows me up.
No, but that's where that line comes from. He's like, that's not love to me. The kind that I'm talking about. You don't do that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Great writing in that. That's your daughter? Wow, it's amazing. You don't look anything like Chunk.
And she sits down to pee, too.
Yeah. Your ass is great.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Like, geez, man. Checking out Emma Stone. Do me a favor. For once in your life, honest to God, just shut up for a minute.
Oh, my God. And you know what? Which time is that?
That was the first time.
Is that in the play?
In the play.
Because then right after that, Brandon says it to Riggins.
He says it to Riggins.
And I'm like, oh my God, the symmetry is so great.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are you to touch my gun? Or my gin, sorry.
Oh, my gin. Oh, my God.
My damn autocorrect.
You had a vowel movement.
I did.
That's what happened. They put a U instead of an I.
That's pretty good. I got to give you that one, bro. That was pretty clever on the spot. I did have a vowel movement. Yeah, I'm like, fucking autocorrect. Yeah, who the fuck are you to touch my gin?
Yeah.
You know, when they're in the play, it all goes to hell. Did you know that Farrah Fawcett died the same day as Michael Jackson?
Oh my God! Yeah. And I was like, yeah, but no one cares. No one cares. Yeah.
Oh, why did we break up? Because you threw a kitchen knife at me. Skip some lines. That's what you always do. You confuse love for admiration.
Yes.
I thought that was a great line.
And that is great because once again, the play he's doing is what we talk about when we talk about love.
Mm-hmm.
So then going back to like what Mike and he both love the adoration that they think is love.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's like just because someone thinks you're great at something doesn't mean you're loved.
Yeah.
You know? But she actually loved you and dealt with you and all your bullshit.
Yeah.
Oh, the one we were talking about. Popularity is the slutty little cousin of prestige.
Yes.
She does look like she licked a homeless guy's ass.
Her name is Tabitha, but
Tabitha, that's what it was.
Yes.
You're not important. Get used to it.
Oh my God.
I was like,
that whole
that whole monologue.
Oh my God.
Jesus.
Do you want the whole monologue?
You can throw it for him if you want.
All right.
For it.
Means something to you? You had a career before the third comic book movie, before people began to forget who was inside the bird costume.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing a play based on a book that was written 60 years ago for 1,000 rich old white people whose only real concern is going to be where they go to have their cake and coffee when it's over.
Yeah.
Let's face it, Dad. It's not for the sake of art. It's because you want to feel relevant again. Well, there's a whole world out there where people fight to be relevant every day, and you act like it doesn't even exist. Things are happening in a place that you willfully ignore, a place that has already forgotten you. I mean, who the fuck are you? You hate bloggers. You make fun of Twitter. You don't even have a Facebook page. You're the one who doesn't exist. Oh, I'm sorry. You're the one who doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing this because you're scared to death, like the rest of us, that you don't matter. And you know what? You're right. You don't.
You don't.
It's not important. You're not important. Get used to it.
Get used to it. I was like, bro, I was watching this with me. I was like, geez. I was like,
fuck. Yeah.
Like, geez, bro. That was very good. I was like, don't. I was like, don't get on her bad side. I said, don't call me Mike. Call me Mel.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
You know, he's in his fucking Daniel Day-Lewis mode.
Yeah, when they're under the sheets there.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
Yeah.
I know this is hard for you.
Yeah.
I was cracking up. My God. You can't get it up for 6 months and now you want to fuck me in front of 800 strangers? I'm like, sheesh.
Yeah, she was not having
She was not having that at all. He just tried to fuck me in front of an entire audience. Ooh, that's kind of hot. Why you act like a dick all the time? Well, because he is a dick.
Yeah.
You have a terrific ass, and I noticed it, and I commented on it.
Oh, yeah. You asked him why he said it. Yeah. Truth or dare?
Truth or dare. He stole your front page. He stole your show. He thinks you're a joke. That's when Birdman's talking to him.
Yeah.
When Mike does that fucking article.
Yes. Yeah.
He said, you gonna replace me? Who you gonna get? Ryan Gosling or some shit?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Look. Oh, my gosh.
Should have me crack it up. No, you're Birdman because without me, all there is you. That's what his persona says to him when he's in the suit. And I'm like, damn, bro. It's kind of like, that's all you fucking are. This is funny. Dude, the Prince of Saudi Arabia is bringing one of his wives in.
There's a line 3 blocks deep.
3 blocks deep.
Yeah. We're sold out.
Oh, for fuck's sake, just jump already.
Oh yeah. And then the voice on the street, jump.
Jump.
Sam's like, eat me. And the guy in the
me.
street, what does he say?
What did he say?
Okay, jump on my
Jump
face.
on my face. That's what he says.
And that's when she's like, I love this city.
I love this city. You gotta love it. It's like a candle burning from both ends. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
He's describing Sam and all.
Oh, yeah, because why are you so angry at your dad anyway?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't around, and then to make up for it, he told me how special I was. And he's just smoking like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Why are you so, what? It doesn't make any fucking sense.
He said, please don't hang up. Please don't hang up. God damn it, the motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, when he's talking to like the lawyer.
The lawyer or whoever the fuck it was.
Yeah, for the guy that got hit in the beginning. Yeah.
What are you doing? Homework? When he comes in and she's writing that shit down, she's like, no, I'm doing homework. I'm going to close your play because I hate you and everything you represent.
Oh, my God.
That shit had me hot.
Man, yeah.
You have no risk at all. And his response to her when she said that.
Yeah.
You get that mongoloid look whenever you're hungover. I was like, rude. 60's the new 30, motherfucker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's like, shave that goatee. Yeah. 60's
shave that goatee.
Yeah.
Get back in that.
Yeah. 60's the new 30, motherfucker.
Yeah, that shit had me cracking up.
Yeah.
Oh, man. He said, he shot the nose off his face. He got a new nose.
Yeah. Yeah, call Meg Ryan.
Call Meg
Ryan's guy, yeah. Oh, my God.
Me cracking up. But I didn't write any quotes down from it, but the scene before he shoots himself in the intermission where he's talking to his wife, all the things they say to each other in there is all
cool.
Yeah. So I was kind of stuck just listening to it, so I forgot to write them. But all that stuff's good. Any you want to add?
This play cost me everything. So I tell you what, you take this fucking malicious, cowardly, shittily written review and you shove that right the fuck up your wrinkly tight head.
Yo, that's a good one. That is a good one, yo.
Yeah.
Your wrinkly tight head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, shave off that pathetic goatee, get some surgery.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he says 60 is the new 30. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. Does she speak? She does. Yeah, she can sit, stay, and roll over if you want to have any treats. Yeah. Oh, here's a good one. A man becomes a critic when he cannot be an artist, the same way that a man becomes an informer when he cannot be a soldier.
Yep. Yo. Wow. That's good.
I mean, there are a lot of...
There's a lot. I'm like, dude, this movie got a lot of quotes. I was like, man, the writing in this shit is strong as fuck.
It is. Let me see.
I couldn't believe it.
Why don't I have any self-respect? You're an actress, honey.
You're an actress, honey. You're an actress, honey.
Oh, my God. The last time I flew here from L.A., George Clooney was sitting 2 seats in front of me with those cufflinks and that ridiculous chin. We ended up flying through this really bad storm. The plane started to rattle and shake, and everyone on board was crying and praying. And I just sat there. sat there thinking that when Sam opened that paper, it was going to be Clooney's face on the front page, not
mine.
and then your line. Did you know that Farrah Fawcett died on the same day as Michael Jackson? Yeah. And I'm like, that's funny that he brought up George Clooney.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I was like, that's intentional.
Oh, Mike, when he showed a fried chicken to Riggin, that's a nice bird, man.
Man, yep, man. Yep, he did. He did.
Yeah.
He did do that.
How did we end up here? This place is horrible. Smells like balls. We don't belong here. That's how it starts.
It does.
Smells like balls.
Smells like balls.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many, but there's almost
so
too many.
Too many. So like we'll be here all week.
Yeah.
All right. What's age the best?
God, my God. What hasn't? I mean, really, if you look at it as like an inside look at what goes into staging a Broadway play, probably everything, because they probably worry about the critics, obviously.
Everything.
You worry about stage lighting falling. You worry about
trees
getting sued and people being assholes.
Actors.
So what's age the best? I mean, the editing, the score, the direction, the acting.
Yep.
Even the sets.
Yeah. I had the writing, editing. I was like cinematography.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The cinematography is because, well, that goes almost with the editing. I should have said it though, because if the cinematographer didn't do everything perfectly,
that DP
you won't be able to
he was on
edit.
Shit though, man.
Yeah. Because it looks like there's only a few edits, and it's at the end after he shoots himself when like they're clapping and it goes up to the light and it pans down and it shows like the band and like the street people from Times Square, like Bumblebee and Spider-Man, and then it shows other stuff, but that's like the only real time it looks like it.
Yeah. What's age the worst? I have free balling.
Oh, oh, Mike, yeah.
Where's your underwear, man?
Yeah.
I don't know. I left them home under the bed somewhere. I'm like, God, guy.
Like, well, it's just like Charlton Heston in Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
We got to see his ass too. So maybe Ed Norton should have been in our recast for Planet of the Apes.
He should. I mean, that's actually a pretty good recast.
I know. I just realized it just now. I mean,
we probably don't use him enough.
Yeah, we should. Well, you don't think about it because he's in stuff sporadically.
Yeah, like he's not all in your face.
Yeah.
Most rewatchable scenes.
Oh my God.
I had the play preview.
Yeah.
I had the bar scene that follows that. I had when Mike and Riggins fight, when he destroys his dressing room, when he gets locked out of the play.
Yeah.
When he confronts the reviewer.
Yeah.
When he's talking to his wife at the intermission. When he shoots himself.
Yeah.
And then the final hospital scene.
That's like
every scene.
It's almost the whole movie.
Like halfway through it, I'm like, honestly, the way it's edited,
it's like one long scene.
That's what
so it's
edited. It doesn't feel like scenes, it's parts.
Like, like parts of one.
Yeah, so I mean,
actually, all those scenes.
Yeah,
because you can't. Because all those scenes are the entire film.
That's the film. Yeah. So best characters, I had Riggs, Leslie, and Brandon. Who did you have?
Believe it or not, yes, and I think Mike also, because the way we
he
talked
could be
about
a best and worst.
Yeah, he is one of those that straddles the line.
Those lines
because he is trying to help, even though it seems like he's trying to sabotage. Because he knows that he needs it too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Worst characters. I have Mike and Sam. Now, although I don't think Sam is terrible, she's a shitty daughter.
Yeah, but Tabitha, the reviewer.
Oh, she's bad too.
Yeah.
She's terrible. I was thinking out like the main. Oh, she's actually probably the worst character in the whole damn thing. I had no nitpicks. Did you have any?
No, not at all. Because everything gets explained when you watch the movie. So even the crazy stuff, like when you see him like floating up, and everyone's like looking up, they're looking up at him because they think he's going to jump.
He's going to jump.
Yeah. So everything gets explained, even if you think like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
And it works, and like that little bit of ambiguity in it is just perfect, just the right amount.
Yeah.
Recasting couch.
All right,
Riggins. Who you got,
dude? I was thinking about it. It has to be George Clooney.
I thought about Clooney, but I'm like...
It either has to be someone who played Batman or someone who played another superhero to make it more authentic.
That is true. I had Gary Oldman just because I like his vibe, but I was trying to think like...
Because look, I think
like
Robert Downey Jr. might be perfect.
He could be perfect.
I know, but I'm like, because it's Iron Man, would you have to change it from Birdman to like Robot Man or something?
Just his consciousness is be a guy in a robot.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. You might have to change it.
Jarvis talks to him.
Yeah. And that's how it could be. Or the Scottish woman who replaces Jarvis.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. I miss Jarvis.
But what about the Vision?
Oh.
He pretty much is Jarvis.
Yeah, but Jarvis just has a nice voice and tiny suit. It's the best.
So that was my thing. Like, if you're going for like a Batman actor,
I do like Clooney. I just feel like
even Christian Bale would be incredible.
Too young,
but like, I'm just saying, like, he would be great.
Yeah, he would be. He in 10 years.
Yeah. In 10 years, yeah.
But I feel like he's gonna be so much younger and better looking than Michael Keaton in 10 years.
Yeah, probably. Like, yes, you know yes, definitely. No offense to Michael Keaton.
Keaton's always looked old though.
Yeah, because he always had that hairline.
He always had a little bit of recede. So he's always had like kind of like Bruce Willis. Like Bruce Willis has always looked a little bit older, even when he wasn't. So I like Robert Downey for it. I think he would be good. I like Robert Downey
because he would bring a different kind of intensity to it. That especially in like the really intense scenes, that I think he could really make Riggin shine. Yeah, as like that sort of walking the line of sanity.
He bring a nice layer of humor to it too. Yeah, he's funny as shit. All right, Sam, who you got?
Your girl, Anna Taylor-Joy.
That's good. I had Saoirse Ronan.
Oh, see, I was thinking of the eyes.
Yeah, the eyes, or not, dude. Like either one of them could work. I was like, you get Saoirse, ATJ, Florence Pugh. Any
Florence Pugh would be.
Yeah, I'm like any of them
really good. Yeah,
any of them I'm fine with. One of them three. Dude, it took me a while to get Mike, but I think I got the perfect guy because of just how he is and how he takes himself as an actor. Who you got?
Mark Ruffalo.
Mark Ruffalo is good. I thought he was a little bit. How old is he?
He's probably in his 50s.
Yeah, I thought he was a little bit too old because I did think about him.
I was thinking of like Hulk actors.
Yeah,
believe it or not. Believe it or not, like that's what I
feel. That
look, Eric Bana.
Yeah, Eric Bana. Eric Bana wouldn't be bad.
Actually, no, you're right.
I just don't know if he's really good. I don't know if he's as good of an actor to play that like as well as Ed Norton did, but he would be good look wise and everything.
Yeah. Now that I think about it,
I had Adam Driver because Adam Driver is very intense. Adam Driver's fucking perfect. Ed Norton.
Yeah, never mind.
Like, he takes his career so serious.
Yeah.
And he's done stage work and all that. So he's all like Adam Driver's like if you watch some of his roles, you're like, God, Adam Driver takes himself so serious.
Rise of Skywalker.
Oh man. I mean, dude, listen.
He was great in those movies.
He is good in them. I'm like, dude, he did the best he could with especially by Rise of Skywalker. I'm like, ugh. But he killed it in Last Jedi shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I liked Adam. I was like, oh, he's got.
You know what? Yes, I agree. Adam Driver.
Now Leslie was weird, and I don't love who I had, but I kind of defaulted to her based on the age because she's got to be the right age.
Scarlett Johansson.
I thought she was too young looking,
but she's in her 40s.
She is, but she still looks like she's 34.
Yeah, but still, I would look. Naomi Watts was like 45.
She was,
and looked like she was in her 30s.
I thought she looked about 42 or 3.
How dare you?
I mean, that's why she's pretty. She reminds me of Nicole Kidman. But
I mean, they're both Australian. I think, so.
I don't know. She always kind of looked like her to me. But I like Scarlett more because I like Scarlett more as an actress and stuff. And I feel like you're just thinking of superhero people.
Well, kind of, but I was also thinking of like age and who
Scarlett
might
would
work
be
well
good.
together.
She would be good. I like that. I had Claire Danes.
Wow, you know what?
I was thinking look-wise, age-wise, Claire Danes is right there. And she's a good actress.
Yeah.
But I would rather see Scarlett in the role. I just think Claire Danes would fit it a little more.
You know what? I never even would have thought about Claire Danes.
Dude, I was racking my head with Leslie and Mike for a minute.
Yeah.
They were kind of tough. I was like, they should be the easiest ones, but they weren't.
Claire Danes has done more like TV stuff. Wasn't it like Homeland?
Homeland, yeah.
Yeah, so she would, I think that would be great.
Mm-hmm. Who you have for Brandon? I switched his race because I had a really hard time with him. Everyone I thought of was too old.
I have Paul Walter Hauser.
Why do I know that name? What's he from?
He's in Cobra Kai.
Oh, this guy's hilarious.
He's great, isn't he?
And he's worked with Adam Driver before.
Oh, has he?
Yeah,
oh,
they're
nice.
Black Klansmen together.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think he would be perfect.
Dude, I like that. That's all right. He wins. I don't even like who I have. I picked a black dude for one.
Okay.
I went with Kevin Hart.
God, Kevin Hart would actually be kind of incredible to because his energy.
Yes, his energy. That's what I was thinking of. And I could just see him playing that worried little tiny freak guy. I don't know. Kevin Hart has come a long way as an actor, I think.
My only worry would be, would The Rock then want to play Reagan?
The Rock would want to play
because he played Black Adam. So and even like the Scorpion King.
So it would be so funny seeing The Rock play a role like this.
Yeah, trying to
really be an actor.
It would be like in Last Action Hero when Schwarzenegger's doing Hamlet, and holding the skull.
It would be like.
That might actually be a really interesting take on it, though.
Great concept, yeah.
Because they work well together.
They do work well together,
and their chemistry is so good that I wonder like how that would actually work.
That would be funny as hell, actually.
Because Adam Driver and The Rock, their stature is almost the same.
Yeah,
Adam Driver's a big dude.
They're both big, tall dudes. Yeah,
and maybe that would work better as a juxtaposition instead of.
Does The Rock have the chops?
We would find out.
We really find out here.
Oh, wait! I didn't even think about the other thing. Who would direct it?
Oh yeah, director. Woo!
Oh, I didn't even think about it.
That's right. I gotta. Terrible. I need to.
Like who could do something that equals that? Like same script, different actors, and has the same kind of energy and vibe in your mind, because you're more of the independent guy.
I'm a director guy, an independent guy.
I can't believe I didn't even think about this.
Dude, it's crazy. I didn't think about it. See,
because with those
couple guys come to my head.
Because depending on who you want as Reagan would depend on who the director.
Depend on who your director is.
Yeah.
So, who we going with? Clooney? Rock?
Or Robert Downey Jr.?
I think we should go with Downey.
Because if we go with Robert Downey Jr., believe it or not, he obviously works well with like, I'd say like Joe and Anthony Russo.
I actually thought about the Russos.
And believe it or not, they pioneered that documentary style with Arrested Development when it first started. So they know how to do that kind of thing. They just haven't had to do it.
I like the Russos or the dudes who did Everything Everywhere.
Oh my God, yeah. The Evans or whatever they are.
Yeah, whatever the fuck their name is.
Oh my God, it's not the Evans, it's something. Oh my God.
I like
they
them.
Both have,
I think they would be good for it.
They both have the same first name.
For whatever reason, I feel like this should be a double director.
Yeah.
Like the Coens or somebody or I like the Russos though. I like the dudes from Everything Everywhere. Or if we're gonna go like a singular guy, as weird as this may sound, I would like Yorgos.
I was wondering if
it would bring a weird, fun dynamic to it.
Oh, the Daniels.
The Daniels.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I think they would do decent.
You know what? I think they would, especially after seeing Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think their style.
They got a style.
Yeah.
And like if you watch their other movies, they can get into drama shit too.
Yeah.
But they can also be funny. So I think their two heads work well together.
Yeah.
So man, I wish I should have had more time to sit and think.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I totally forgot, or I would have texted you.
Forgot. I'm like, man, because there's a lot of guys I like, but I feel like they might be a little too old or out of touch.
Because like Yorgos, his style and stuff more than anybody. Yeah. Do you think he would be?
Oh, he would make this look so cool. But
with like,
I just hope he. Oh yeah, I think they have a great time together. I just hope he wouldn't throw too much weirdness in it. Okay. That'd be my only thing, like, because I think Iñárritu had just enough,
like surrealism.
Yeah, just enough of everything, but not too much of anything. So I think he balanced it really well. Because I do like the Russos or the Daniels, bro. I think those would be my picks. Yeah. One of them two duos. I just feel like I feel like two guys would be really like you need that double perspective.
Yeah, you
like
need the balance
because the writing, all them writers is the reason it works so well. If like I said,
and if they were there when he was filming, it's technically probably more than one director.
Directed, yeah,
yeah.
Hey, yo, bro, hold on. This is. He's like, you know what? So
yeah,
either one of them for director, but I like your guy for Brandon. If we're going with RDJ and shit, I like your guy.
Yeah, I think he would be incredible.
Unanswerable questions. I mean, what the end maybe?
Yeah, because it's kind of like, but we already really talked about it. Like, is she seeing him flying, or does she finally understand like his mental?
Yeah. So, which is, I like the fact that we don't know.
Yeah,
it's a good conversation.
Yeah, it's and that's the point of the film, right? To not know because we're dropped. It's like a short story in the fact that we're dropped in the middle of this person's life. We see what's going on around him, and we still don't really know at the end because his life goes on. But how does it go on? Did he actually just jump out the window?
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he obviously can't fly.
He might have.
So is she, or is it literally showing that he's high and she knows he's high? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it can be something cheeky like that.
Yeah, it's all on how you interpret it, but that's the beauty of it. You're right.
I was like, I think it's beautiful the way he did it. All right, prop you want from the movie?
The Birdman costume.
That's what I said.
Yeah, I mean, come on, that was a great costume.
It looks sick, dude.
Yeah,
I was like, man, I know. I was like, this would be sweet for like if someone was like, oh, I'm gonna use that costume design to make a hero movie.
Yeah,
I had that too. There's not a ton of props like in this.
No, like I thought the light that fell on the dude's head.
Yeah. I'm like,
or the chicken,
yeah. Like what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
Like what the fuck?
The kitchen table. I need the kitchen table.
One of his wigs. Like,
yes, So, the gun with the stopper.
Tip. Yeah. So something weird.
The gun with the orange tip. Didn't Stormy Daniels talk about that?
Chill.
Oh,
Lord, chill.
Gross.
Gross. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Anywho, so let's grade it.
I'd say A+.
It's an A+.
It has to be.
Like, I went into this, I put it on, I was like, I'm probably going to be in the B+ territory with this one. By the time it was over, I was like, bro, this movie is fucking great.
Honestly, the second time I watched it, it was better.
It's better. I was like, it gets better.
It ages. It is a fine wine.
Very well. I was like, this movie's aged very well. So I'm like, because when it came out, I was like, I liked it. But I was like, was it Best Picture worthy? I don't know. Now I'm thinking it was.
What was it against that year? You had told me a couple weeks ago, and I honestly, I've read so much.
Pull it back up.
The past couple weeks, I can't remember.
Pull it back up, see what it was.
And I hate to admit that because it was 2015.
2015, yeah.
Because we were talking about something else, and we brought up Birdman.
Yeah.
And
so. Yeah, I'm like, shoot. Oh, Whiplash.
Wow.
Too. American Sniper. I would take Birdman over that. Whiplash. So, dude, Grand Budapest.
Oh, that's what it was. We were doing
Grand Budapest. The Imitation Game. Selma. Boyhood.
Oh, my
There's
God.
a lot of good films up here.
Boyhood was Richard Linklater.
Yeah,
right?
that movie's great. I love Boyhood.
Wow.
I love Whiplash too, though, man. American Sniper's good too. Oh, I know people hate on it, but I like it. Grand Budapest is, of course. God, this is a tough one, actually. If someone told me to pick out of these, I would have I need a whole day.
Yeah, well, maybe Birdman won because it was also like an indictment of the film industry.
Yes, I think that's what it. I think
like an inside look of what actors thought about other actors and stuff.
I think that's fair to say.
It was a little more intimate, I guess, than most.
But it's like, dude, you got Boyhood, 14 years with the same actors. That's impressive.
Yeah.
And Selma was pretty good too, and I usually only.
Oh, that's like what David Oyelowo.
Yeah, whatever.
I mispronounced his name. I'm sorry.
From the Western now.
Yeah, he's. Bass Reeves.
Yeah.
Look, he's a great actor.
He is very good.
Yeah,
he played MLK well. That movie, I didn't think I was gonna like Selma, but I actually did end up liking it. I was like, it's actually better than I expected it to be. I don't really get into them historical black movies like that.
Yeah,
this is coming from a black man, guys.
Yeah, and especially like period pieces you don't normally like anyway.
Yeah, I mean, well, costume dramas, you know.
Okay, so it's those kinds.
Those kinds.
Not like a Bridgerton or a Downton Abbey kind of stuff. Okay.
Dude, I can't watch Bridgerton. I saw like a couple clips like a couple weeks ago. I was like, I don't know how they watch that. I was like, I know you love it.
Dude, you know why I love it? Because you make concessions and you get stuff for making concessions.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah. No problem.
Yeah.
Fully get it.
Yeah.
I love it too, though.
Yeah. Best show ever.
Bridgerton tonight?
Yeah, like, all right. I'll watch the
Put it on. Shit, we'll watch that belong. The pro. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
So, all right, guys. So, A+ across the board. So, next week, we'll have to figure that out, guys.
Now,
we ain't got there.
I want to ask you something. For next week, did you want to do your favorite movie?
Dude,
in honor,
we can do the Empire Strikes Back.
Is that all right?
In honor of James, yes. Sir.
I wanted to ask you.
Totally fine. Don't even need to watch it.
Right.
But I am.
Yeah. I need to rewatch it
because I watched. So when he died the other day, I watched Coming to America instead. I almost put that on.
I was wondering. I was going to ask you because we're going back and forth, and like you had the Lion King.
The Lion King. I thought about that.
Dr. Strangelove. Even though he's a bit player, you know that voice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, man, so I want to come into America, King Jaffe. My son works. That voice. Anyone throwing roses at my son's feet will have to answer to me. Those chicks were like, they backed up quick. But all right, guys, so Empire Strikes Back next week. Rest in peace, James Earl Jones. I'm Dom.
I am Jamie.
And this is the Cutting Room Floor.